Hello everybody, welcome back to the Gear Shed. Got another review for you today. Today we're looking at the brand spanking new HC35 headlamp from Nitecore. This guy's a bit of a beast. So first up, we'll go through what we've got in the box. Now I bought this guy from China, from AliExpress. So I seem to have got the Chinese version. So the box is kind of a waste of time unless you can speak Chinese. Comes with a warranty card. Comes with an instruction manual. Also comes with a micro USB charging cable. This has a micro USB charging port in the back of the head. So they give you a nice little cable. It's not a USB-C, unfortunately, just a standard micro USB. So around about 1 amp, I think, is what the rated charging rate is. We have a little bag of doohickeys. So we've got a pocket clip, spare O-ring and a lanyard, which is kind of a standard sort of thing you get nowadays with these headlamps. We also have this cool little plastic thingy here for, right, so this is for running an 18650 battery. Now this guy here runs on a 21700, which is the next size up, which I'll take out in a minute to show you. So you get this adapter to run your ordinary 18650s in, and then this particular one here won't be powerful enough to run it. You need something around about the 10 amp variety because this does pull a lot of juice. Now what's also interesting is that the lamp itself doesn't have a spring in the end, so it's quite fussy when it comes to length of cells. I will show you that in a minute, especially with these 21700 cells. Right, so it comes with a little plastic adapter. It also comes with a headlamp strap. Now let's have a look at that first, and we can compare it to some of the other ones that I have. It is perforated, so it's got holes in it, and it also has a little silicone, you can see it there shining away, a little silicone strip, and that's supposed to give it a bit more grip, and also divert some of the sweat away from your face. Although it's a nice material, it's quite nice and soft, the only thing that sort of gives me a little cause for concern is perforating like this. It then takes a lot of the strength away. It'll make it, I think it'll be floppy and sloppy after some time. If we compare it with the head strap off the HC35, which is the one down from this, it's a lot more substantial strap. This is quite a nice strap, actually. It's one of the nicer ones I've had with lamps. So my only concern with that is that it'll start getting a bit ropey and actually sort of fold over in time. We'll see how it goes. Now this also has a very interesting clip, so we'll talk about this for a little bit. This has one metal clip, very similar to one of my old Phoenix lamps has a steel clip like this. Now it's only at one end, which is interesting as well. So one of the things people were commenting online when this came out is that this wouldn't be totally secure if you had a rope. So if you're climbing and you had a rope here and you grabbed it with a rope, you're going to have to, like I'll try, to do quite a bit to get that to come off. It is quite solid. I would, if I had issues with that, I would then run a piece of Velcro, like I usually do. Actually, I can show you here. As I run a piece of Velcro around my holders. These are little Army Tech plastic holders you can get. These are, personally, I think they're the best 18650 holder you can get at the moment. I just run a piece of Velcro over there just to hold that a little bit securely. So if you do bump it, it's not going to come off. So I think you can do that with this. Now the other thing that I would be inclined to tell people is that it's a nasty clip. It will scratch the crap out of the torch. Now if you have a look at this, I haven't had this too long. I don't know whether you can see it when I focus. You're going to focus on it. So look. You probably can't quite make it out, but it's already scuffing the anodizing up. You can kind of see, and this isn't very old. I haven't used it that much. I've taken it in and out probably 20 times or more. And so what I've done, hopefully to alleviate that problem, is I've actually covered the clip in shrink tube to try and take the sharp edges off. We'll see whether it seems to make a difference. So yeah, I'd be inclined to watch that. It's going to scuff this anodizing up immensely quickly. It's already looks like I've had this for months, and in fact I've only had it a few days. So yeah, the clip, I don't know. yeah, they could have implemented this a lot better. It could have been plastic. It could have had a strap on. It could be making lots of options. But yeah, it does the job. Yeah, but you will be looking at scratching and anodizing, so bear that in mind. Okay, so let's have a look at the light itself. It is a beast. It is big. It is heavy. If we want to compare it with some other options here, we have the HC35, which is the 18650 lamp. This is with the optional Nitecore do this optional diffuser, so you get you a bit more of a diffused light with that. So you can kind of see size-wise, and then also a Zebralight H600, the new one, the Mark IV, and a warm light, and then comparing it to an 18650 battery. Okay, it's a big lamp. Don't be fooled. It does also weigh a lot. Looking at weight-wise, so with the light with a 21700 battery in it, so bearing in mind there it's a heavier battery than these 18650s to start with, total weight with the headlamp strap is 209 grams, which is 7¼ ounces for those with some Freedom units there. So 209 grams. Out of everything that I own, the only thing that comes close to weight-wise, so if we want to put them in order of heaviest to lightest, we're looking something like this. This is a Nitecore HC50, which I've had a long time. That's probably the heaviest headlamp I had before I purchased this. This is 185 grams, which is 6½ ounces. You can tell this is on your head. You can definitely tell this. It's a step up. It's another 20 odd grams. So yeah, it is noticeable on your head. You will notice this there. It definitely weighs a lot more. So we're going down the line here. The HS33, that's 146 grams. That's 5 1/8 ounces. And then the Zebralight on the end here is 142 grams and 5 ounces. So this guy does weigh a lot, but there is a reason for it, obviously. So we are, with this particular lamp, as I said, runs a 21700 cell. Whoops, ran around the face. 21700 cell. It's drop resistant as well. So it is a lot bigger capacity than an 18650. With this guy, the problem you have, down in here you can see a little knob, contact point at the end. It's not a spring, it's just an ordinary solid contact. Problem with that is that your cells have to be protected. So this here is a LG cell, I think. It's LG? No, sorry, Samsung, I should say. It's a T40. So it's a good quality cell. Stick it in here. Screw the cap up. Oh, it's not going to be really working. Nothing happens. So yeah, very sensitive to the length of the cell. So with this one, I've had to put a little magnet on the end just so we can get contact going on. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind when you're looking at your cells to put in these. And I would think also when we're looking at this battery holder here that we put it into is to make sure, oops, throwing things around today, make sure that you've got a good contact on the little adapter here. So it would probably have to be a button top or a slightly raised. A lot of the flat tops now are a little bit raised, so that will probably make contact with that. So that's something to bear in mind too with the 18650s. So let's have a look at the thing itself. It is got a very big head on it. I mean, if you compare that to the Zebralight, okay, single emitter Zebralight there, that's quite a bit bigger head. It's got these big massive cooling fins, very similar actually to this is the HS33, so sort of similar design ideas. We've got a button on the top, which is sort of so-so. I actually prefer buttons like the Army Tech Wizard and the Skill Hunt, which on the side. I just find them a little more comfortable, but it does the job nicely. It has a physical lockout too, so the button is recessed. I don't know whether you can see that. So if you push it on the ground, it's not going to turn on at any given moment unless you've got something that's actually going to poke into it. It is anodized thread, so therefore you can undo. Let's got a very long thread on it. Undo the cap just ever so slightly, and that'll break the connection with the light, and it will stop it turning on in your pack and things like that. So overall, design's pretty good, anodizing's pretty good. We've got on the back here the little rubber flap for your USB charger. I'm not a big fan of these because to me this is just a weak spot now. That's this little piece of rubber that's going to perish and fall off, and then yeah, you'll never get a replacement because in a million years time when it falls off, you won't be able to get one. So they're kind of an afterthought to me. They're good for emergencies, but it's not something I'd use all the time, so I try and steer clear of it, but this guy was too good to pass up even with that on it. Yeah, so knuckling and everything's really nice. The LEDs are pretty cool. It's got I would say that's probably a plastic lens. It's what they call a TIR lens. So it's quite, it is floody, but it's floody in such a way that it's sort of focus flood, if that makes any sense. So it's not shooting light out right out to the sides. It's more of a focused spot, massive spot of light. So yeah, so let's get on to how she works. So obviously put your cells in, one button on the top, one click to turn it on. So when we're looking at outputs, starts off it's low, ultra low for Nitecore is 1 lumen, so it's not as low as say a zebra light. That's a lot lower, although the camera won't pick any of this up. It's a lot lower light. It's also a cool white. So if we look at the zebra light, it's got sort of yellowy, you'll see it on there as a yellow, and this guy here will be a lot whiter light. So it's a cool white compared to a neutral light. So yeah, so let's start off. So we've got low, that's 1 lumen. It's supposed to do 1,200 hours. These are all on an 21700 battery. Obviously it's going to differ if you put an 18650 in it. We have 40 lumens, that's 52 hours runtime. 270 lumens, that's 1 hour 15 minutes. 800 lumens, 3 hours. And then 2700 lumens, which is maximum output, for 45 minutes. Now what I'm going to do with this, and then sorry, long press for off. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it on and we're going to watch it, because I've found what's quite interesting. It's got a temperature regulator in it, so it will drop the output down as the temperature increases on the LED, but it initially turns on at the full power of 2700 lumens, but there's an initial few seconds and then it drops, and then what it'll do, it'll start just progressively dropping it down. You can notice it dimming. Okay, so a lot of these lights, these maximum outputs are sometimes fairy tales, because of the way that they're allowed to measure these. They can say, oh, it's got 5 billion lumens. That's for the first 30 seconds or the 2 seconds it turns on, and then after that, who cares? It could go down to 1 lumen, and it's still 20 billion lumens. So it's interesting to watch this. And I've also got a non-contact thermometer here, and we're going to just see what sort of temperature this head gets to. I won't really bother doing any beam shots because I haven't got the camera equipment for it. And in the past, what I've seen, it never really translated much into reality when you get the torch itself. I mean, just to realize that this is a floody beam. It's designed for more close up, and the only reason it's getting any range is because it's just got massive amounts of lumens behind it. So at maximum output, it's chucking so much light out there that some of it goes far enough for you to see 100 meters down the road. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll turn it on into high. We'll give it a few moments and we'll just see whether the camera can actually pick it up. So we can press the hold, we'll go into turbo. And we're having a look at this. Let's get the old contact thermometer up and running. Let's fire that on there and see where. So it's 33 degrees Celsius at the moment. Let's see if it's going to do it. And it starts. The biggest thing is the camera on my phone will not pick it up, but it is starting to dim a bit. The head has now got to, let's have a look here, 41 degrees, 41 and a half. There we go. It's starting to dim quite considerably there. You won't notice that. It's dimming down quite a bit. So it's interesting, for me, it's interesting to note whether that's 41 degrees. So it hasn't got that hot, and it's already dimming. Let's see if it's going to do it again. And it's only been on for a very short period of time. So the maximum output that they're stating with this is very much a burst mode. And then actually I can see it dimming a little bit more. You won't pick that up either. Let's have a look at what our thermometer is saying here. So it's saying 41. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. 41 degrees at the head. So that's not really that hot. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so that gives you a little bit of, it's quite warm. It's not too hot to touch. See, what it's done is it's actually dropped down. So that there is turbo mode. Back again. Let's see if it gets any hotter. So so 44 and a half degrees. So it's getting a little bit hotter there. So for me, the turbo is just that, turbo. Unlike things like the Zebralight will go up and down. So we get hotter. It'll throttle it down a little bit, and there it goes, it's dimming again, back down again. So interesting to see whether they say, so it's 47 degrees, so it's around about 48 degrees. So it's around about the 40 degree mark, and it starts powering down. So that's quite warm now. That's almost uncomfortable. So whether, let's have a look. Yes, it's coming up to 50 degrees, so it's getting quite warm. Click the button again, look at that. So what it's doing is it's actually dropping, it looks like it's powering down and dropping down a mode, which is quite interesting. So 45 minutes is certainly not going to be at your maximum output. Oh, there we go, dropped down, it's just bang, down to the next. It's just dropping straight down now. There we go, back down again. That's a fully charged cell as well. Don't, and it now cannot do turbo at all. That's very interesting. And the head of that is cooling off, actually. It's down to 40. Oh, no, 50. It's very, yeah, it's hard with this thermometer. 54 degrees it's saying there, if I get close enough. And press to hold for off. So, yeah, it will be interesting to see in the long run. That body itself is quite warm. Head is quite hot. That's actually, I don't know whether it'd be that happy to have that running at full without, obviously this is without any cooling, so it's different with running outside. If you're on a bike or moving around, it's going to have some cooling air going around it. So there. Right, so far it's good. I think it's possibly too heavy for a hand lab. Even after having all this time with my poor old trusty HC50, which is a great little lamp. This has lasted a very, very long time, and I'm very impressed with it. It was reasonably cheap. It's only got it's the first generation, so it's only got a small output. There's 565 lumens, so it's obviously not in the same ballpark as this, but weight-wise, this is getting up there. I mean, I've sort of carried this in my pocket as a EDC for a little bit, and it is substantial. It's a big chunk of weight there, a big chunk of light. So yeah, if you're a weight weenie and you need to carry, I would personally not put this in my pack and carry it walking or hiking. It might be okay if you're going for a quick climb, early morning start, you maybe quickly walk in, do the climb and walk out in a day. Yes, but even then, it's got some gravitas to it. It's got some gravity to it. Especially when you're comparing like the Zebralight and then also the Nitecore HC35. These are substantially lighter. The cells are lighter. Light output is kind of irrelevant really, because if you're looking at this at 2,700 lumens, it's not maintaining that for any real length of time. So the next mode down's 800 lumens, which is getting into the same sort of ballpark that these guys do on turbo. And it will be interesting to see. This is rated at 3 hours. I think this one here, again, is rated for about an hour, but this drops down at full power. The Zebra light will throttle up and down, so it will give you a really good amount of light output. I think they've got it rated at 2.9 hours, which you're not going to get maximum lumens out of that for that length of time, but it will throttle up and down as it gets cooler. So it does give you the maximum amount of output. So out of all of these, this is the best when it comes to efficiency. It sort of wipes the floor with these two, I find. So yes, so you're not getting a massive amount of advantage with this, really. Okay, you got that script turbo, but regulated states, it's going to be interesting to see as I get along. If I use it a bit more with it, it's going to be that useful over the long run. When you're looking at these are lighter weights. Yeah, similar outputs apart from the turbo, and a little bit cheaper. So, quick recap. Yeah, overall build quality is good. As I said, magnet in the tail cap, top switch, heaps of cooling, although that's kind of irrelevant with the turbo motors we've seen. Heavy, able to use multiple types of batteries, so you got 21700s, 18650s. It will take CR123s and 16340 rechargeables, but those you don't get the turbo on it because it isn't able to suck enough juice out of it. Nice light. It's got a good spill, nice even. There's no patterns in it. It's just a solid wall of light. Nice that they've tried to give you a headlamp holder for it, but it is really heavy. And the clip is shit when it comes to wrecking a lamp. I mean, I don't know whether I could just about make out all the scrapes on it. So a little bit disappointed with that, really. But I mean, hopefully with this wrap around it, it's given us a little bit of a run around. Reasonably nice material, but as I said, with all these perforations in them, I'm not holding my breath that this will hold up as well as the other headlamp straps I've got. Yeah, so all in all, it's a little bit of a enigma. I mean, I'm glad I've got it, but I'm more inclined to believe that I will attach this to my bike more than a headlamp, because it is, yeah, there's no two ways about it. It is a beast. All right, so hopefully that will give you a little bit of insight into it. As I said, I've not done any run times with it. I've used it so far. I've had it for about a week, and I'm just using it at work in my pocket and stuff, and it does, yeah, it lights a room up pretty substantially on the turbo. I haven't really worn it as a headlamp because I haven't really needed to as of yet, but I will definitely try it when I do. Yeah, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm waiting for my Army Tech Wizard Pro, funnily enough, to come back for its fourth warranty, because the high modes have gone. When it comes back, I thought what I would do is put all four of them together, whack them on turbo. We'll have a look at how they perform and maybe do a little bit of a comparison between them. Okay, so until then, hopefully that's answered a few more of your questions about this particular guy here, the HC35. Comments in the comment section. I don't mind measuring, weighing, etc., etc. So if you want to know what individual parts go for. Yeah, all in all, an intriguing light. Whether it will be something that's on the market for a long time, I don't know. I think it's really hamstruck by its weight. Weight and size, it is substantial on both those measures. All right, so bear that in mind if you're going to buy one. It is heavy, it is huge. The clip is okay, it's not going to fall off in a hurry, but it will, unless you do something about it, it will scratch the living daylights out of your torch. All right, so thank you for now. Remember to like and subscribe, comments in the comment section below. I don't mind asking you questions. Until next time, thank you very much, and thanks for watching.